YouTube. I want to share my perspective on Piper Rockelle and how she's being treated on the internet as someone who was previously involved in online escort. And that being said, I was a online sugar baby is what it's called. And I just want to share my perspectives on here to support other young women and just kind of tell the truth from someone who's on the inside. And I don't think that the way that the internet is treating Piper Rockelle is appropriate. And it's because I'm noticing a lot of people shaming her and blaming her for her decisions. And I want to remind everyone, this is a young girl. I know she just turned 18, but by holding her accountable for these decisions, you are just as bad as the men who are preying upon her, and you are allowing space for this type of predator to come in and, support her, make her feel better, because she's not getting that same support from women and other people in her own demographic. She's being shamed, and why would we shame the women who do this? I know people might say she's already wealthy, but the truth is she's using the money to help people. She's using the money to help animals, and to adopt cats and make a sanctuary for them. And I think this is a really good use of money. And personally, I think that the people who are shaming her, this is an example of misogyny and also pedophilia, because there is something to be said for women who enter into the sex work industry. It's because now they're isolated and they're considered bad or terrible. This allows predators to take advantage of women in these situations. This one person, yes, she's making a lot of money, but if people shame her, that's setting a precedent to shame all women who are in escort, and all you're doing is dogpiling onto what the current political climate is already doing. Most women who enter into escort is because they have no other option. You think people want to do this? You think people want this as a career? I know you'll say, no, you're just lazy. There is studies that show ageism in so many industries affects women in reverse, which means that the younger you are as a woman, the more difficult it is to find a job and to not be bullied, harassed, and discriminated, not by men, not only by men, but by other women. Because women who are perceived as younger in the workforce are perceived as less competent despite having the same qualifications. I got hired as a veterinary office and I loved that job. But the problem is my coworkers were discriminating against me because they thought I was very young. They would say, oh, you don't know anything about what you're doing. This isn't the first time I've been treated this way. I have grown up as a teenager in the workforce, being abused, screamed at, mistreated by men, by women. Yes, there are a lot of nice people. There are a lot of, especially women, I have some very good mentors who did treat me with respect and provide me the emotional support that I needed and encouragement to continue in my career. That being said, I think that the fact that people are shaming ex workers is just fitting for this political climate. Women are shamed for being dependent on men, but they're also shamed for just trying to make their own money and trying to do good in the world. But then you'll shame other people for not doing good in the world. Just let women exist. I do not know all of Piper Rockelle's scandals as a minor. I don't want to know. What I know is what I see. What I see is that this political climate is causing a lot of people to become flying monkeys. for this regime and put down women who are just monetizing their own body. So you want men to be able to access women for free, for nothing, but you're mad when they want to put a price tag on it. Men have probably been using this young lady's content to boon to, for lack of a better term, since she was so young. What is wrong with her wanting to take that power back? Take her power back. Because that is empowering. We need to allow young women to experiment, to make the same mistakes that we're allowing their male peers to be making, without calling them boxed, without calling them broken, without making them isolated. That's so sad to me. It's sad to me that we live in a culture where it's considered morally correct to bully and harass teenagers, but it's not considered morally correct for those same teenagers to try to make some profit off of it and just take their power back. I am disappointed in the internet. I'm disappointed in how they support people who don't deserve support, and they turn on people that do. It's obviously that people are jealous, okay? Because what do all of these, OnlyFans creators or something have in common? Who are the men who are watching them? Why don't you ask this? Because I know. I know who these men are. I know who these creepy men are. Guess what? Your teachers, school administrators, professors, fathers, sports coaches, grandfathers, uncles, boyfriends, husbands, and I think you know it too. So don't play dumb. I think you know who's to blame. And I think you know who is the scapegoat in this situation, which is the women. Okay? And I'm not saying this specifically for the sake of Piper, because I don't know her. I don't watch her content. I think she seems like a very sweet young lady. The fact that she wants to donate her money to help cats, that's adorable to me. But all I can say is take the focus off of the women your misogyny is showing and stop being such a fucking pick-me. And I say this for men as well. Because there are a lot of men who think they're superior because they don't watch porn or something, but then they shame the 18-year-olds who are making it. You don't know what she's been through. You don't know. You don't know what kind of trauma she's been through. There's two types of trauma survivors. There's trauma survivors who survive and they're scared to have sex. They're scared to become intimate with people. They're scared to connect. That's something that I went through. And I'm still going through. Still suffering. There are other trauma survivors who react in the opposite way. They become hypersexual. This is normalized in young men. We see so many young men who have been dealt with CSA as minors, as babies, as children, and they're hypersexual and they're on a rampage in society. And we consider this the norm. Yes, they do need help. But who's to blame? It is not the young women whose bodies they are consuming. It is not the young women who are trying their best to find a place in this fucked up world. It is their parents. It is the adults, the older adults, who taught them this stuff. Who put them in a place where they feel this desperation. We need to face the source. Look at all the information that's coming out now. Don't stay delusional, okay? You can't. It's obvious. You need to believe the facts. You need to stop falling for your own short-sighted ideas.